What the hell is OnePlus doing? People in my Telegram community and on Twitter love to talk about OnePlus because in many ways, it's almost like that semi-forbidden fruit that you can possibly get your hands on. It's not available in all markets. It's available in a lot of specific markets. And it's available at a price point that is almost accessible for a lot of people. Combine that with a Oxygen OS semi-pure Android experience, which means that you have no rooting, no bloatware, and all of these magical, mystical things that come with OnePlus devices, apparently. Now, as someone that used to have a OnePlus 3T, I loved it. I think OnePlus is doing a lot of great things. But I have to say, with the release of the OnePlus 7T versus the OnePlus 7 Pro, in my opinion, we are seeing the same thing that's happened to Xiaomi in the past beginning to happen to OnePlus. Now, it's important to understand that for a company like Xiaomi or Redmi, although that they are concentrating on some very specific markets, tech enthusiasts go and kind of gravitate towards that brand. And tech enthusiasts internationally aren't subject to the same kind of market restrictions that companies are. Because in a lot of ways, having an international presence like OnePlus or like Xiaomi means that enthusiasts are willing to go out of their way to buy a product and import it, or to bring a product in from overseas and possibly pay a little bit more to get something that isn't available in their market. And we see the effect of this kind of on YouTube in America, with a lot of these YouTube reviewers in America that are kind of confused about why is OnePlus releasing this model and it's not available here and it's only available here. And we saw a similar effect with Xiaomi fans with the release of the K20 Pro, because we had all kinds of fans in India and in the rest of Europe saying, this is a China-only model, let me go ahead and import this. But then we had other people saying, don't import it right now, we can wait for this to become available locally and we don't have to deal with rooting and ROMs and Chinese-specific bloatware. So it's kind of the same phenomenon where a device is released for a specific market, but then users and media that we're exposed to internationally are aware of it and then get their hands on it. So you might be asking yourself, should I get the OnePlus 7T? Should I get the OnePlus 7T Pro? Should I get the OnePlus 7 Pro? What should I do? And ultimately, this is the type of thing that if you're a consumer that always wants the newest thing, you're the biggest loser in this. Because OnePlus gave us 4 models within the span of like 4.5 months, and it's significantly more compressing their release schedule compared to what it normally is. And now that they've given us 2 devices, it makes it even harder for people to choose, or for the marketing message to be clear to consumers. At least for a lot of people, such as myself, the not having a pop-up camera on the OnePlus 7T, in my opinion, that's an upgrade. That means it's one moving part that I don't have to worry about now, or one less moving part that I don't have to worry about now. The battery size difference is insignificant when you consider the speed of the charging, and the 855 Plus versus the 855, it's kind of give or take depending upon what you care about being more important. So OnePlus made the second set of devices, this T set of devices, to give users in specific markets devices that they didn't have access to before, or give users choices. But from the international and kind of global tech audience, this is just a confusing release. So it's important to consider that when OnePlus releases this set of devices and you're confused about it, or should I buy it or should I not buy it, they aren't necessarily releasing this device to the global market. And it's not that the OnePlus 7T is a newer, better model than the OnePlus 7 Pro. It's just a different offering for a different market. And in my opinion, if you look at the new releases, or the T releases from OnePlus, they're virtually identical to what we already had from them. And in my opinion, if you can get an older OnePlus 7 Pro like for cheaper than the newer OnePlus 17 non-Pro, I think that's a great deal. It does make the original OnePlus 7 look kind of out of date because it's got that single camera. But even still, if you're not really worried about cameras or performance of mobile photography, the OnePlus 7 might be a great deal that you can get now for pretty cheap. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at the devices released and the specific like device roadmap, and understand that just because they've released these devices, they're not necessarily made for your market. Okay, I hope that was something that kind of informed people or kind of made the decision about what device you should buy a little bit clearer. Let me know if you guys understood this already or if this video explains something to you that you might not have understood before. Okay, till next time, it's been Mitchell coming to you guys from Hanoi. Peace.